Hello everyone, I'm Rong, a Chinese lawyer. Today, I want to talk about which court in China has jurisdiction over your international civil or commercial cases. In the previous video, we talked about China's court system. China has 4 levels of courts: basic people's courts, intermediate people's courts, high people's courts, and the Supreme People's Court. In addition to differences in levels, there are also regional differences between courts. For example, the courts in Beijing are different from the courts in Shanghai because they are located in different cities. So for your international civil and commercial cases, which court has territorial jurisdiction? According to the provisions of the Civil Procedure Law of China, there are several situations. Firstly, agreement jurisdiction is superior to general jurisdiction. That is to say, parties can choose the court by a written agreement. So, in many contracts, there is a clause regarding the applicable law and the jurisdiction of the court, or the choice of arbitration institutions. Of course, this choice is limited in scope. That is, the parties can only choose in the courts of the following places: the defendant's domicile, the place where the contract is performed, the place where the contract is signed, the plaintiff's domicile, the location of the subject matter, and other places that are actually connected with the dispute. Once the agreement takes effect, the parties to the contract can only file the lawsuits in the agreed court after a dispute occurs. Secondly, if there's no agreement for the choice of the court, or the agreement is unclear, then the general jurisdiction provisions of the law must be followed. That is, a lawsuit is usually filed in the court at the place of domicile of the defendant. Here, the defendant can be a person or a legal person or an organization. If there are several defendants in the same case, and they fall under the jurisdiction of 2 or more courts, all of the courts at the places where the defendants are domiciled have jurisdiction. Finally, if there's no agreement for the choice of the court, and the defendant has no domicile in China, according to the relevant law and regulations, your international civil and commercial cases will be under the jurisdiction of the Chinese court in the following areas: where the contract was signed or performed, where the subject matter of the lawsuit is located, where the property can be seized, where the infringement was committed, or where the representative office of defendant is domiciled. Let me talk about a real case so that we can have a deeper understanding. The plaintiff in this case is a Chinese citizen, and the defendant is a financial services company located in Sydney, Australia. The 2 parties signed a customer service agreement, and in this agreement, both parties agreed to be governed by the exclusive litigation jurisdiction of the laws of New South Wales, Australia. Later, a dispute arose over the performance of the contract. The plaintiff filed a lawsuit with a court in Beijing requesting confirmation that the contract was invalid. But the court in Beijing held that it had no jurisdiction over the case and dismissed the plaintiff's claim. The reason for the dismissing is that both parties have chosen the Court of Australia as the court for dispute resolution in the contract. Therefore, this Australian court has exclusive litigation jurisdiction over the dispute between the two parties. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any legal questions, just contact us, and our legal team will respond to you promptly.